welcome back to Cindy's Library. This is Cindy, and today I'm doing the mid-year freakout tag. Not that I'm really freaking out, but let us take a look at what this questions we have here. So the first question is, what is the best book that I have read all year? Well, best book that I haven't actually put in a different category would be Belinda by Mariah Edgeworth. I absolutely loved this. This is a young girl's entrance into society. She has an aunt who's trying to help her, but isn't really because they disagree on what she wants in life. There's also Lady Delacour, who takes our heroine Belinda under her wing, and she's quite the character, let us say that. Anyway, I just absolutely loved this one. So glad that I read it for Feb Regency. Let's see. Best sequel. I forget when I read the first of these, but I definitely read the second, the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon by Beth Bauer this year, and absolutely love it. So fun, so fun. Oh, Emma, she's living in a Victorian time. Her options are limited, but she is determined. She is going to get a proper education in spite of her aunt or her cousin, who's really kind of like a great uncle, whatever he is, but absolutely charming. Oh, I love Emma, and I think she is indeed going to be able to succeed in the end somehow. Let's see. New release that I haven't read yet but want to. Can't really say that there is such a thing at this point. Not even sure. No, I haven't read that many new releases recently anyway. So let's see the next one, the most anticipated release for the second half of the year, Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson, Stormlight Archive. Yeah. Whether I'll actually be able to finish it this year, we'll have to see. I understand it's another brick, but looking forward to it in any case. Biggest disappointment. Miss Pym Disposes by Josephine Tay. Josephine Tay absolutely loved Daughter of Time by her. And Miss Pym, I would say, is equally well written, but the story, I can see what she was doing with the ending, but it's just such a tragic ending. There's no other way of putting it. Biggest surprise was Howard's End by E.M. Foster. I might not have had this conclusion, except that I read it with the Literary Life podcast, and yep, they made me love an E.M. Foster after bouncing off A Room with a View last year. So glad about that. Let's see, favorite new author. This may be not entirely fair since I've only read one of her works so far, but Cy Montgomery. Absolutely loved Soul of an Octopus, which is the author's own adventures with octopuses, whether at the aquarium or even in the wild. So there is that. newest fictional crush, and that would be Kyoka Kudo from My Happy Marriage, light novel version. He has a really gruff exterior, and he cultivates a certain reputation, but really, he's just such a gentleman and sweetheart inside, and a lot of it is he does not suffer fools gladly. And sadly, a lot of his potential marriage prospects, they may not be fools, but they have certainly acted, well, like high society young ladies, which he feels is foolish, which has not helped anyone's cause until, of course, he meets our heroine, but that's another story. Let's see, newest favorite character. I would probably have to say Miss Marple. Now, granted, I started reading Miss Marple last year, but I read most of her books this year, which has solidified her as a favorite character. When I get to be a little old lady, I want to be just like Miss Marple. Let's see. Book that made me cry. I don't really cry easily at books or movies or anything, but the book that touched me the most, Once a Queen by Sarah Arthur. Eva Joyce grew up in America, forced to spend her summer with her mother and estranged grandmother in England. Grandmother has some things going on with her, including what looks like what could be magic. But that brings up the question, just suppose magic worlds are real and you could actually get to them, like in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What would it be like to come back from that? Books that made me happy. The Tale of Hilltop Farm by Susan Whitting Albert. Slight mystery, mostly just cozy. Beatrix Potter. This is fictional, of course. Well, historical fiction, I guess, kind of, with a touch of mystery. But this is at the point in Beatrix Potter's life where she is getting ready to make her first purchase in the Lake Country and get a cottage there. And there are mysterious things going on in the village, and things go on from there. Most beautiful book. Well, this is going to be rather a set because I found 3 Willa Cather collections. Early novels and stories, later novels and stories, poems, and other writings. I saw these, and after Loving Death Comes to the Archbishop last year, I had to get these. What can I say? These are Library of America. Very nice edition with the slip cases as well to help protect them. So, have to say those are my newest and most beautiful purchase at the used bookstore about a month or 2 ago, something like that. So finally, what books do I need to read still in this year? The answer, way too many. Of course, my TBR is way too tall. Still stuck on Way of Kings. I shouldn't say stuck, but I'm still on Way of Kings for wanting to read all of the Stormlight Archive so far this year. I have lots of open spaces on the Literary Life Reading Challenge this year still open. Other things I'd like to get to. It's October coming up, and of course I have a huge potential reading list for that. But that's okay. It's not a competition. Reading is for enjoyment, so we will focus on that. And I have to say, I have really enjoyed my reading this year so far. The standouts, I would have to say, for me are Belinda, Soul of an Octopus, and Once Upon a Queen. Those are the top standouts. There's a secondary tier would include Ivanhoe, Ben-Hur, probably some others I could come up with, but those three are the standouts from the first half of this year. So, sorry, just jiggled that. Anyway, that has been basically my reading for the first half of this year. How has your reading gone so far? Hope it has gone just as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. Truly do appreciate it. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.